Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of Beyond the Case, which is a podcast where global leaders from Harvard Business School's OPM community join in a personal capacity and they share the real decisions, mental models, and life principles that go behind building enduring companies. My guest today is Akshay Verma. He is the managing director at Verma Jewelers. They're based out of Solan in Himachal Pradesh in India. Akshay, how are you? It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, Sohan. Thank you. Pleasure is all mine, brother.
Yeah. So, Akshay, just introduce yourself and your business for anyone who's listening.
Yes. So, guys, first of all, thank you so much, Sohan. I'm Akshay Verma. I'm the third generation entrepreneur from Solan. We are based out of Himachal. It's a small hill station here. And we are one of the largest jewelry brand in Himachal by the brand name of Verma Jewelers. And we have almost a close of team of about 200 people working with us. And I joined business in 2003 with my dad, and he's the one who created this brand in 1967, and we're one of the legacy brands and one of the most trusted brand in Himachal when it comes to jewelry, when it comes to gold, diamond, and silver.
Akshay, so you mentioned you're a third generation business owner now. Could you walk
Yes.
us through the early days of the business? What did that look like before you stepped in? And then once you stepped in, what were some of the challenges that you might have had to
Yes,
work around?
that's a good question, Sohen. If I go back, in India, as you know, jewelry is worshipped. People, everybody, every woman, every household need to adorn a jewelry, a piece. They look for as an investment, as a security, and as there are a lot of emotions attached to, owning a jewelry piece, in a family. And when it comes to any occasions, maybe weddings, starting, I think investment can't go without investing in gold, and gold, diamond, and silver. So when I go back, and it is earlier, I would say, still it is been highly dominantly, controlled by a very unorganized sector, especially in India, because the volume is big. There are a lot of jewelers all across the country in every nick and corner. So there are a lot of family jewelers, family owned jewelry stores which are operating, and it's a highly unorganized sector, I would say. But recently, if I look back about 10 years back, since 10 years, we can see a transformation happening, and a lot of chain store corporate brands are jumping in, and they're coming like Tanishq. You must have seen, the brand Malabar, Kalyan. All those brands are finally making their presence in every two tier or three tier cities. So the most challenging part, I would say, is as a family jeweler, how do we come out that mindset, that's very important, how to change the mindset from a family owned and then switching to a corporate working store when you're becoming an organized player. That was the biggest challenge for me when working with my father and my especially with my father in 2003 when I joined. It was totally unorganized. We have to be myself at the store. I have to entertain every customer who comes. I was the one who was, with along with my dad, used to entertain every customer, you know, deal with them, invoice them, being up a cashier, becoming an accountant. So I was the 360-degree along with my father. That's how the jewelry businesses, and especially in family-owned jewelry businesses, operate in India. So the mindset, changing that mindset was the biggest challenge, I would say. But finally, I made it, I would say. And that's half problem solved.
Did you grow up expecting yourself to join the business, or was there something else you thought you might do?
Yes, I would say I was really proud to, be a part of this jewelry fraternity. And definitely, I'd seen my dad, struggling. He had a very tough time because he worked day and night. He had a very small store of 150 square feet, too small. And that's how he started. And it was very, very challenging those days. He used to go to every household in the villages to take orders and to deliver jewelry and, take orders. So he has really, he used to make jewelry by himself. He was a craftsmanship. Yeah, he understands every nick and corner of how the jewelry business has been done. He has done everything him by himself. I saw him growing. He had that passion. when it comes to selling a jewelry or making that piece for other customers. So I really enjoyed seeing him working, and I wanted to. But yes, though I wanted to join him, but at the same time, my city where I live in, Solan, it's a very small town. It's one of the very smallest, those days in 2003, it was very, very small hill station. And it was challenging for me that how would I make a mark? And we was so small that time that how would we compete with rest of the family jewelers and other jewelers.
In jewelry, there's hardly any point of distinguishing factors between different brands. Maybe the brand name matters, but beyond that, it's whatever the metal might be and raw materials. So how do you guys think about distinguishing yourselves, building customer loyalty, and still thinking about scaling in a industry which is so cutthroat with
That's right.
competition?
Yeah, that's a good question, Soham. So first of all, I would say, if I answer your question, I would say firstly that my father has always taught me that don't sell gold. We are not the ones who are just selling jewelry. Sell a legacy, create a legacy, and sell for generations. Create that kind of a trust in your customer. Serve them so well, give them the quality product, and believe me, they are going to come back. And that's the principle we have been following all across. And that's what customers they feel pride shopping from, especially from my father earlier and now from our brand. So they used to feel as a blessing taking jewelry from him because he's a spiritual soul. Every Sunday he used to go in the serve in the temple and give his services there. And on rest of the 6 days he used to work at the store. So people have seen him. He's so grounded. Shown him that his intention is all about giving the right quality to the customer. Those days. When there were no standards, there were no hallmarking standards when it come to delivering a quality. We could have taken a shortcut selling 18 carat and selling 22 carat, but giving our customers 18 carat or 17 carat. But my father didn't never chose that path. He always believed in the fact that we have to deliver a quality to our customers and we have to serve them well. Don't try to sell. Always advise your customers in such a way so that they know, because people only buy jewelry when there's a good occasion, when there is a something celebration happening, and be a part of that celebration. So the whole narrative changes. That's it. That's how we started building on. Then you started getting a compounding benefit out of it.
And Akshay, how many stores do you all run? Is it one store, or do you run a chain of stores?
So to be honest, we have a very unique model. We have two stores at the moment, physical stores, and one as like a movable store. That's very unique model we have created in India. We are the first ones, I would say, very on a very hyper. This thing we are doing in exhibitions. We are covering every nick and corner of Himachal. This idea was brought after doing my first OPM program from Harvard, that go and penetrate your customer till the time just try to move around your customer, where's your customer, understand, move spirally. And as you know, our jewelry business highly capital intensive and it requires good operation, good system processes in place. So I said, till the time I build on those things, let me have my presence in every corner of the state, every corner of the city, and all that small towns. So what we are doing is we have established a separate team, which my team is hopping from one place to another and organizing 4 to 5 days exhibitions and covering every corner of Himachal, even to the Tibet border, and every odd locations where reaching for a normal person is not easy. That is what we've been doing.
Right now, gold prices are fluctuating dramatically. And so, what does that volatility look like in terms of affecting your day to day decision making in the business? And how do you stay calm when you see prices fluctuate so much?
I would say it's a very challenging time for the industry. But at the same time, when there is a problem, there are opportunities, I would say. And when there is an opportunity, that is the time you move out of your comfort zone, of your cocoon, and try to build something new. And that's what we have been exploring. How to use the tech in the right way, you know, and how to maybe work on different caratage so that you can get the pricing down, and how you can you know create your strength and create some kind of a differentiate in the market where you stand out. So that's what we've been doing. We are launching different caratage jewelry, like 9 carat jewelry we're launching soon in a different way, so that everybody can especially use those kind of collections in their daily wear or maybe for the gifting purposes, right? So this is some innovations we are bringing in. And also we are investing in technology this year, that how we can have a mix of digital and phygital, so that both the things can together can give a customer a good experience.
Do you guys keep ready stock in inventory, or do you guys make to order, or do a mix of both?
But majorly it is a ready stock, because in India especially, people like want to feel of the product, they want to see it, they want to wear it, they want to try it on, you know and that's how the decisions are being made. And also we do customer making custom pieces as well, depending upon if there is a complete wedding attire and some is a complete wedding happening, so we do every mix and match.
And in the jewelry industry, I have heard feedback from other business owners that e-commerce is a hit or a miss. Some jewelry manufacturers have had success with e-commerce to an extent. They've not been able to get the average order value much higher, and so over time it may or may not make sense to be a sustainable business to scale. Whereas some others have seen limited traction. I'm wondering what your experience has been like and how that sits into your growth strategy.
So going forward, we don't have a choice, I would say. We have to adopt this as soon as possible. But I believe in the fact whenever we do it in the right way and putting all our effort. It all depends how much effort goes into the project. If the efforts are correct, if you know your strategy well, if you know how you're going initiating this, I don't think so there will be should be a problem. People do it half-heartedly, people delegate to people, to different agencies or different this, that is not correct. If you really want to build something, you should know who's your customer. You identify your customer, what you know what are their pain areas, how are they going to interact on e-commerce platform, what can they actually start from a baby step, maybe starting from a small collection or maybe a lightweight collection overseas, because when shopping for a wedding, people want to take a feel, they want to come sit, try it everything. But when it comes to day to day, where people can still make that decision on the e-commerce, and especially it will not be, I would say that uh, 100% e-commerce will never work. It has to be a mix of physical and digital, then only things can work.
Akshay, your business, your family has been in the business for 3 generations now, so 50 plus years, I would guess.
Right, right.
So that means you all have seen the evolution of new technology as well, lab grown diamonds in that sense, right? So, how do legacy jewelers like your brand look at this? Is it an emerging thread? Do you all look at a product you all would probably assimilate into your offerings as well? Could you talk about your mindset around that?
To be honest, first thing is that we have to be ready for the change, and we cannot ignore whatever is happening in the industry. We cannot ignore, right? That's point number one. Point number two is that when I talk specifically for lab grown, I would say there is always a market for this lab grown as well, but there's a different set of customers who actually cannot afford a natural. Natural is natural, like buying a original Louis Vuitton versus buying something a fake, something like that. So people who want to adorn natural, they will always go for natural. Definitely, this lab grown has created some kind of a disturbance in the whole industry in the market, but it's not permanent. There's a different set of customers. If you treat it separately and you know that audience, this business can take on its own. But the people who likes diamond, who want to they who are invest in natural diamonds, they will still like to keep investing in natural diamonds, I would say.
Verma Jewelers has won multiple national awards, even
Yes.
around social media and retail excellence. So, how do you approach storytelling and brand building in an industry which is so conservative?
I love marketing. That's my DNA. I love,
You can tell from the gold blazer you're wearing.
yes, this is also marketing, right? So whatever I do, I enjoy doing marketing, and that's into my core. And people in the entire industry, jewelry industry, people know us, our brand, through our marketing. And whatever we have done, we have launched a couple of beautiful campaigns in Himachal, where we have got a lot of national recognitions, like you just mentioned, especially for a campaign called Golden Bond. We were the pioneers in getting our customers together and making them the face of the brand for the season, and making them, on our all our billboards and all that, from all sphere. Some people were teachers, some people were politicians, some were homemakers and all that. Getting them together, creating a story around that, and making them, pampering them, and shooting them at a property like Obroy's, and launching it in a very big way. So that's what we did. We got a national awards for that, and that particular campaign, we got phenomenal eyeballs. Everybody, every gender, every age group was associating with that campaign. My granddaughter, my bhabhi, my mommy, my real bua, something or the other. uh, Everybody used to see someone of their family on the billboards, and it used to give them pride. And believe me, today, if you come to Himachal, every competition is just following that. So it gives you pride that you were the ones who started this. And today we have finished with a five season already been completed. And now we recently launched a Pahadan campaign, where again it was very different. We promoting the culture of Himachal. Himachal is a very culturally rich state, and how we can, present that in front of audience. That's what we've been doing. So marketing is very close to my heart, and I believe in excellence. I believe in perfection and whatever we do. And I proudly say that whenever anybody is visiting Verma Jewelers on any platform, he will feel that difference, that yes, this brand is something.
Now you've shifted in your role from an operator to a leader. Are there any core principles which guide how you make your decisions today, especially when the stakes are so high?
Yes, I think so. First of all, we follow our core values very, very strictly. We are very, that those are foundation of our business. If we are, if it's ownership, accountability. Ownership means if you own something, you're accountable for that, right? And if discipline is there, with no negotiations on discipline, no negotiations on punctuality for anybody. you know and when it comes to customer first, we have to, whatever we do, it have to keep our customer in mind, customer centric, whatever we do. So they're the core values. We've been following since my father. Basically, we identified our DNA. What does the people of our Himachal state like? So based on my father's principles, because he was a very disciplined person all through his all work life, and he was very punctual all across. And for him, every time customer used to be the first. So I think if the core values of the companies are clear and that's part of your culture, then everything else becomes easy. And everybody, if you're hiring someone, and if you are making sure that these core values are being actually been trained, they've been spoken out very well, they've been actually, you try to investigate them in such a way that everybody follows them. So we follow a principle of people analyzer, where we rate everybody on how the core values are being demonstrated. So we follow that, and that's become the foundation of the brand.
In the jewelry industry, next of kin are not usually very well educated. It's something I've observed. My family is also from the jewelry background. I never had interest in it, so maybe I have, you know, studied a little more. But you typically, what I've observed is people don't invest in education. You thought about going for the OPM program. So, how did your journey lead you there? Why did you choose that program? And could you talk a little bit about your experience at the program and the takeaways, please?
I hope I have time, because this question is something very interesting. So during the COVID times, that was a turning point of my life, to be honest. Before that, I was Akshay 1.0, and I got a 360-degree change post COVID. That's when I was introduced to one of my coaches, Rahul Jain, and that's when I prospected myself, and retrospected. I felt, what am I doing? I'm if by this I was we were doing fairly good. We had a good brand name, everything was going good, but it was just like any other family jeweler. I said, if I'm going to work the same way, I cannot, maybe I can open one more store, or maybe I can make this a little size bigger of that. But he was the one, actually, he peeled me off and off and off. Then I realized, I said, amazing potential this country has, amazing potential this state has, amazing potential I have in my passion I have for this industry, this business. I think someone has to do it, right? If I'm not me. Then and there's no chain store brand from North India so far. I mean, this is the biggest pie which is lying there, and nobody's actually exploring that. So that's when I started my journey of learning, and I was 100% committed to that 2 years of journey with him. And along the way, I met a lot of friends, I met a lot of entrepreneurs, and did a lot of learning along with that. Some on finance, some on other things, because and started reading, which was not part of my this thing earlier, but I started doing that as well because that was part of my course. But believe me, along the journey, I realized that if somebody wants to change and has that passion, if you are committed and if you can be consistent all across, then sky's the limit. And that's what I carried on. One, I manifested, came to know about OPM, that it's one of the most prestigious Harvard Business School is offering prestigious program for all the business owners, and is the most prestigious program in the world. Then I said, let me manifest that. And I people told me that's not easy to get in, you have to have a good profile. I said, I don't have a good profile, but still let me just put my application on. And I did that. After almost 2 years, I got a email saying that you have been selected. It was one of my biggest manifestation coming true, I would say. And that's changed my mindset. I've done almost done my unit 2. I've done mentoring to unit 3, my final graduation year. And I'm really excited and looking forward for what I've created for myself. And my every each in my family, my kids are so excited, and they also feel so proud of me. And as a father, I also feel so happy about sharing this with everybody. And also, I want to give back to the state, that these learnings, these whatever I've been learning from all the top professors, impact I can bring back to my state, for especially, especially for the people. Himachalis are very, very calm. They're not that too much enterprising since they have, but I want to add value in their lives, especially my team. If I can add some value in their life, it will be really nice. And these platforms really teaching all of us how to do something great for the state and for the country.
What a great response. Akshay, you said manifest a couple times in that response, and RJ, you mentioned Rahul Jain. He speaks about manifestation. I think on episode 27, I had someone else participate, Vishwajit Vishnu. I
And
believe you know him as well, and he was maybe referred to OPM by you. So, could you talk a little bit about your experience with Rahul Jain? What is it that you took away from his program?
to be honest, first thing is that he changed my mindset. Otherwise, we never dreamt, big. Used to think like a very small shopkeepers and all that. He said, you have a great potential. The जिस तरीके से उन्होंने हमारे प्याज की तरह पील्स हटानी शुरू करी, that's when I discovered my true self, that yes, I have a potential. That's the biggest thing. वो change and if that is change, you one can do anything in life. Then the vision becomes like, up now, if I want to open a store anywhere, I have that guts. वो पहले क्या होता, वो leap of faith ही नहीं आता. That's most difficult thing. He was the one who actually introduced us and handholded us on every weekly basis. The journey was difficult, though. I would say that it was very overwhelming. But believe me, I was really consistent. I was committed to that learning and to that 2 years of mine. I would say rather 4 years continuously, because back to back there were, operations happening, mindset changing. Earlier, I used to deal with customers. Earlier, I used to handle every problems in the store. Now, I would say my team is there. I've delegated my jewelry business to my team. They have been handling entire operations for me, and I'm working on my growth and my expansion. So this is the biggest shift, I would say. And especially going to Harvard, staying there for a month, and leaving your business behind, and team is managing that. That's itself goes with that it's mindset shift, right? Otherwise, believe me, I don't know you are aware of this or not. In family-owned jewelry shops, you cannot leave a store for even a minute, not
Mhm.
even for a, trust me, I know so many business owners, and they cannot go for a holiday also, leaving their business behind. Either they have to shut it off, or either they have to do something else.
Great. Now you've also gone through a remarkable personal transformation, discipline, fitness, early mornings. daily meditation. We had to schedule this before 9 p.m. You mentioned there's lights out at 9 p.m. for you. So, what's triggered this shift and how has that impacted your leadership?
First of all, I realized that it's like a wheel, it's like a car having four wheels, and or all the four wheels are equally important. You cannot just work on one, drive the car having one wheel inflated and all the rest of them, deflated. You have to make sure that all the wheels are being well balanced. So I believe in the fact that I have to give time to my family no matter what. I should be always available for my daughters and my son and my wife and my parents, which I'm committed. That's the reason religiously I took that decision that 6 o'clock, no matter where I am, I have to be back home. So 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I'm with my family, having good time with my children and my family. 9 o'clock, I try to go to sleep, and because I make sure that I get up before 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock I start my day. And that's when Rahul Jain, it's like one of the building blocks of his teachings, that you have to get up at Brahm Muhurat and 4 a.m. And it was the most difficult thing, but I proudly say that I'm the one in that batch who's kept that on, and Rahul sir also feels really happy about this, that he's the only one who kept this my one promise on. And since then, I make sure whenever I'm not traveling, that I get up at 4 o'clock. I start working in the morning. That's my me time. I enjoy that peaceful time together. I do all my works, answer all my emails, everything, and read a book in the morning, and all those things, and have nice instrumental spiritual bhajans on my background, and enjoy that space. Then I go for my cycling, and after that 6, 7:30, and a lot onwards, I go for my cycling whenever possible, along with my exercise I do every day. But it's all possible because of you have to be committed and you have to be disciplined. And until the time you are not, you will not be able to achieve what you want to. And same time, family time, because whenever you are in expansion journey, Sohan, it's very difficult. I've seen a lot of people screwing up their personal life when it comes to expansion, when doing, but consciously made sure that I should be available for my daughters. They are studying in a boarding school in Jaipur, but if they need me, I should not even think twice to immediately cancel my meetings, or maybe reschedule all my meetings and just reach out to them. So it is all about managing time. And I would say I mastered that. I would say, and I feel proud of myself.
Very nice. You wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I didn't catch that correct.
3:45. 3:45 to be precise.
3:45.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 4 a.m. I start, yes.
Amazing, man. Okay, you also gave me a nice segue into my next question. You spoke about reading a book in the morning. So, talk to us about a book maybe which might have influenced the way you think about life, about leadership. Anything you want to share with us?
Yes, of course. I love to. I'm not that much of a reader, I would say, but yes, books have really impacted my life, and I have read a lot of learnings from that like 12-week year. I started program. I've shifted my company from annual thinking to 12-week to quarter thinking. Then Traction is a very beautiful book. Traction, since I've applied in my business, I would say my business have phenomenally grown. We have applied ourselves. We didn't have got a implementer for that, but we did it ourselves. But I would say we are fairly doing well because of that. And one thing I practice in my life, 80/20 principle book, I practice it in my daily life. So all these things, what, RJ taught us, or maybe along the way, we got to know from our friends or at HBS also. And I've been trying to read most of them. And sometimes go onto my cases and reflect on them. I would say reading is very a part of this thing, but it's difficult. I will be very honest. I will be very honest that it's not easy to keep it on everyday basis, but I try to. So I recently did a 5-day program also on just book reading. It's very basic, but for just on a book reading, how I can be more concentrated on.
Great. My last question is if you could go back to 2002 or 2003 when you started off at Verma Jewelers, what advice would you give a younger Akshay now knowing what you've seen, over the last 24 years?
I would say, first of all, think very big. make as many mistakes you can. Because if I was 20 right now or 25, don't don't even think of making no mistakes. The more mistakes you will make, the more success you are coming going closer to your success. You have to succeed. You don't have a choice. The only thing is, you have to come out of your fear and take your shots. That's what our professor also said. Execution breeds strategy. I believe in the fact. And this quarter, believe me, Swain, our mantra for our organization is take your shots. And for every young entrepreneur, I would say, play your shots. Don't keep the ball to yourself. Just keep passing it on, and just believe in yourself and change your mindset. Trust me, universe has offer. Start manifesting, create a vision board for yourself. Don't make it overwhelming. Think of couple of things, put it on a vision board, have a weekly tracker process, create that tracker process, and just play your shots.
Thank you, Akshay. Very, very honest and sincere conversation on your end. So I appreciate that. Appreciate your time as well. I'm quite sure anyone listening will have a lot of takeaways. So
Thank
thank you for fitting us in into the 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. schedule that you have for your family time.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
so
much.
much. Pleasure
Yeah.
is all mine. It was pleasure interacting with you, and I hope I'll add little value to your audience. I hope so.
Thanks, Akshay. Be well.
Thanks.